You read the title, you know what this is about, so I'll just get right into the game. The story. The story kicks off with a plague that infected your people, and most of your kind that remains, including you, want to find the king, who went missing in the plague along with his 5 knights, who are some of the best warriors in this world. And that's about it. There definitely is a lot more, but I'm not MatPat, so let's get into the gameplay. Now, my opinion swayed as I kept playing. Something to know is that this game's combat is heavily inspired by Nine Souls, being very focused on parrying and even having the dash that can't dash in the air. And it even adds more to parrying than Nine Souls itself, being that if you parry 3 times, you can do a super attack that deals massive damage, some of them like most damage that is in the game. But don't worry gamers, as this game has 3 modes. Easy, medium and hard, and I think there's an extra one that is literally like no stress at all, like you barely can take any damage. So for people that aren't like me and just want a chill experience, want to learn the story, then this is perfect for you. Which leads us to talk about boss fights. Now obviously this is a demo, but the 3 bosses that are available are actually pretty neat, except for this weird crab guy. So the main guys I'm going to be talking about are a big guy and small guy. Now big guy was pretty cool. He has 3 main attacks, a middle slam, a sweeping the screen attack, and dropping rocks, and he can also radiate heat from his chest, I guess. Lore wise, this guy used to be a ferryman, so when we defeat him, he does one last trip, and takes us to a new area, which I thought was pretty cool. And if you don't understand the reason he was hostile, it is because of the plague that happened. Now moving on to the small guy, this guy was so much harder than big guy. It shows that size really doesn't matter. He took me about 25 minutes at most, wait actually never mind, probably 30 minutes, not gonna lie. But did make me rage quit. This is where my complaints start coming. So, coming from Nine Souls, it's going to be hard to top that game's parrying system, and I don't know how I feel about the parrying. It feels a bit janky, but remember, I am coming from one of the best parrying systems ever made. But it's not just the parrying itself, it's the enemies' attacks. This game seems to make enemies go from 0 to 100% speed, and what I mean by that is that an enemy attack will be slowly moving, and then it will teleport straight into your skull. And this is with every enemy so far on the demo, but everything else is quite nice to use. Now let's talk about upgrades. Now, upgrades are very important in games like these. In fact, it is the entire premise of the game, so it has to have good upgrades, and so far in the demo, this game delivers. Having a basic stat system where you can put XP into a certain stat like strength, or health, or stamina, which you need to do dashes or charge attacks. It also has different parry charms, and charms for more things like attacking. You can also trade the currency in this game for XP, if you don't want to grind XP, which I think is a good idea, especially if there's an achievement. Alright, so I was going to record the art style voiceover, but I don't know if you can hear that in the background, but my house is currently burning down, so I'll get back to art style in a second, guys. Now, the art style for this game is very similar to Hollow Knight in some ways, and I love that. And I found myself admiring the characters as they all look so different from one another. My favourite one being this merchant dude. So I would have to say the art style is a 10 out of 10.
Oh wait, we have a big head. 6 out of 10.
And as far as the areas go, I can't say much as we don't have a lot to go off. It's kind of just a Timu Dirtmouth and Green Path. How long is this game going to be? Well, I don't know, but a rough estimate could be looking at the save file progress. From looking, I have about 4%, which took me 90 minutes. But if you're playing on an easier difficulty, then you could beat the bosses faster than I could. And another thing to note was that I was interacting with everything I could to make the most out of the demo. Taking a rough estimate, this game could easily be 20 hours plus, but I don't know how many areas there are, so don't take this info to heart. Much as the price goes, I can't really say anything here, but a fair price from what I've seen could probably be 20 to 30 doubloons. Another thing I forgot to mention is that there's anti-plague settlements around the map that give you rewards if you hand them plague seeds, which burst the plague. But that's about it for my opinion. I can't say much as, you know, it's a demo, but the game's coming out in about a month, so if you like Hollow Knight and any of the games that I like it above, then go ahead and give it a shot. That's all I have for today. Thank you. Oh my gosh, wait, this is it, right? Yes! Oh, let's go!